Go to hell. I'm sure you've heard those words before. Maybe you've even said them. But what does it mean to go to hell? Instead of looking at what popular culture says, we're going to see what the Bible teaches about this subject. I hope after looking at what these verses teach, you'll understand the seriousness of hell. And at the end of the video, I'll tell you how you can avoid the fate of hell. Before we get started, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps. Also, let me know in the comments if you'd like me to talk about any other topics. Okay, now on to what the Bible has to say. Number 1. God didn't create hell for humans. Matthew 25 verse 41 reads, "Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels." Hell is depicted as a place of eternal fire. It was originally intended for Satan and his angels. This verse highlights its severity and permanence. When a person goes to hell, it is a final judgment where you are separated from God. Number 2. Your fate depends on your name being written in a book. Revelation 20 verses 14 to 15 reads, "And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire." This is the second death. "And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire." God has a record of who is going to heaven. It is called the book of life, and if your name isn't written there, your fate is to be thrown into a lake of fire. This passage emphasizes the importance of being aligned with God's will to avoid such a fate. Number 3. Hell is not a place where you hang out with your friends. Matthew 13 verse 42 reads, "And shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth." Beyond the description of fire, hell is a place of emotional suffering and despair. You may have heard people say, "I don't want to be in heaven with all those goody two-shoes. I'd rather be with my friends in hell." But the imagery of wailing and gnashing of teeth conveys the deep regret and anguish experienced by those in hell. Number 4. Avoiding hell is worth any price. Mark 9 verses 43 to 44 reads, "And if thy hand offend thee, cut it off. It is better for thee to enter into life maimed, than having 2 hands to go into hell, into the fire that never shall be quenched, where their worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched." Jesus is teaching about sin and the seriousness of avoiding it, even if you have to take drastic measures. Hell is a place of unquenchable fire where torment is eternal. The reference to an undying worm and unquenchable fire stresses the continuous and relentless nature of punishment in hell. Number 5. You are conscious of your torment. Luke 16 verses 23 to 24 reads, "And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torment, and saw Abraham far off, and Lazarus in his bosom. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water, and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame." Through the story of the rich man and Lazarus, hell is depicted as a place of conscious torment and irreversible separation from comfort and mercy. This account highlights the awareness of those in hell regarding their situation and their inability to cross over to a place of relief. Number 6. Hell is forever. 2 Thessalonians 1 verse 9 reads, "Who shall be punished with everlasting destruction from the presence of the Lord, and from the glory of his power." We often can endure pain if we know it will end. But hell is characterized by eternal destruction and separation from the presence of God, emphasizing the loss of all that is good and the absence of God's glory. This verse points to the ultimate consequence of rejecting God, eternal exclusion from his presence. Number 7. No person can send someone to hell. Matthew 10 verse 28 reads, "And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell." Knowing that God is ultimately in charge, Jesus tells us to fear God instead of other people. He is the only one with the authority to condemn someone to hell. Your relationship with God is far more important than your relationship with any human on earth. Number 8. Your punishment never ends. Revelation 14 verse 11 reads, "And the smoke of their torment ascends up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receives the mark of his name." The perpetual torment in hell is described as endless, with continuous suffering for those who reject God and follow evil. This imagery of ascending smoke signifies the ongoing nature of punishment in the absence of peace or rest. Number 9. Hell shows the seriousness of sin. Jude 1 verse 7 reads, "Even as Sodom and Gomorrah, and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication, and going after strange flesh, are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire." Many people today make light of sin. But the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah serves as a biblical example of God's judgment and a precursor to the eternal fire of hell reserved for those who defy God's commands, including the command to love Him with all your heart. This historical account illustrates the seriousness with which God views sin and the consequences that follow. Number 10. Even attitudes and words can send you to hell. Matthew 5 verse 22 reads, "But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment, and whosoever shall say to his brother, Raca, shall be in danger of the council, but whosoever shall say, Thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire." Jesus teaches that even attitudes and words can be deserving of hell's fire, emphasizing the importance of righteousness that extends beyond actions to include thoughts and words. This expands the understanding of sin and accountability in the eyes of God. Number 11. Being religious is not a way to avoid hell. Jesus was speaking to the religious leaders in Matthew 23 verse 33, which reads, "Ye serpents, ye generation of vipers, how can you escape the damnation of hell?" Jesus questions the religious leaders of his time, highlighting their hypocrisy and the inevitable judgment leading to hell for those who mislead and exploit in the name of religion. This warning serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of spiritual deceit and manipulation. Number 12. Hell is a reminder that both individuals and nations can reject God. Psalm 9 verse 17 reads, "The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget God." This verse asserts that hell is the destiny for the wicked and those who turn away from God, emphasizing a national and individual responsibility to remember and honor God. It underscores the collective and personal implications of rejecting God's sovereignty. Number 13. Wise people will not be in hell. Proverbs 15 verse 24 reads, "The way of life is above to the wise, that he may depart from hell beneath." When I say the wise won't be in hell, I'm not saying people with high IQs. Wisdom is portrayed as a path that leads away from hell, suggesting that living according to God's wisdom and guidance is a means of avoiding eternal separation from Him. This contrasts the destinations of the wise and the foolish in terms of their eternal outcomes. All right, I think we can agree that hell is not a place you want to go to. But, are you going to hell? You might say, "I've done my best." Isn't that good enough? To start with, no, you haven't done your best. We can all remember times when we didn't do our best. But even if we did, that's not good enough. But I'm better than most of the people I know. Sorry, God is not comparing you to others to decide your fate. Here's a simple test. Have you ever, even once, told a lie, taken something that wasn't yours, had lust in your heart over someone else, dishonored your parents, or had hatred for someone? Congratulations, you are worthy of hell. If I'm more good than bad, can I escape hell? No. On God's test, passing is 100%. Failure is anything less than that. If for one moment you love God with less than your heart, mind, soul, and strength, you failed the test. I don't want to leave you in despair. God has provided a solution. Jesus didn't come to save perfect people. He came to save sinners, and you can only be saved if you are a sinner. God has provided a path to escape hell. John 3 verse 16 tells us that because He loves the world, God sent His Son to pay the price for our sins, and that if we believe in Him, we can be saved. So what does it mean to believe in Jesus? It doesn't mean that we believe that He existed or even that He is the Son of God. It means that we turn from our sins, trust that Jesus, who died and rose from the dead, will save us and commit to following Him. My prayer for you today is that you recognize the path you are on may lead to hell and that you turn from this path and follow the path of Jesus. If you do that, I'll be looking forward to seeing you in heaven. This is Pastor John. God bless you.